Hello guys, my name is Vallen Estevano and I'm from Management International class Tanjung Pura University. And with this opportunity, I will explain you about Principle 8. It is a country's standards of living is dependent by its ability to produce goods and services. Okay, first of all, why is a country's standards of living is dependent by its ability to produce goods and services. The ability of every country to produce goods and services are all different because every country have different natural resources and human resource level, and it is the benefit in producing goods and services. When a country can produce their own goods and services, it means that they can provide enough of their own country, which leads to less importing when they can expand their exporting activities. There are many benefits from exporting goods. First, it can open by new markets abroad as an expansion of domestic markets and increase foreign exchange of a country. And it can also grow some new investors around the world. And not every country has the ability to produce their own goods and services. If a country doesn't have the ability to produce, then the country have to import goods and services from another country. So the large difference in living standards among the country and over time. First, what is living standards? Standards of living refers to the quantity and quality of material goods and services available to a given population. Standards of living focuses on basic material factors such as income, gross domestic product, life expectancy, and economic opportunity. It is closely related to quality of life, which can also explore factors such as economic and political stability, political and religious freedom, environment quality, climate and safety. The difference in living standards among the country could be seen from comparing both developing countries and in a country which has a slow rate of industrialization and low percentage capital income. It has lower living standards. Their distribution of income is still unequal. The factors of production is still ineffectively utilized. That's why developing country has low living standards and developed country has high living standards. Which country has a high living standards? I will take an example of United States. United States is one of the country with the high standards of living. This country produce a lot of agriculture commodity in each state, such as aquaculture, cattle and cows, fruits, tree nuts and berries, and lots of other agricultural commodity. And what about the country with the low living standards? The low living standards country is Afghanistan. What's the reason? It's because they're in war and from a very long time, which caused damage and hunger. So they're too busy with war, so they don't have time to developing their country. The living standards over time, the living standards in every country is probably changing over time and uncertainly. Sometimes it's up or it's down. It can be different in just even 1 year, but we can see how much it changed through the data around like 1 decade before or a little less. For example of living standards difference over time. In old times, private transportation is a luxurious thing, which common people don't usually afford it. But now, as we can see, almost everyone afford at least a motorcycle and their private transportation to get around. Difference in productivity. Every country has different natural resources and different level of human resource and productivity. The first one, the quantity of goods and services produced from each unit of labor input. Every country is on different level on producing goods and services. Some country can produce goods and services on high level, which means they can produce a lot of it. But some of the country has limitation, so they produce goods and services on low level. Every unit of labor input produces different amount of goods and services, which affect the whole economic of the country. Just like what Liv explained before. If the productivity is too low, then the country have to import the goods and services from other country and it's on high level, which means they produce goods and services more than the country needed. Then the country can export it to another country and earn some benefit from it. Higher productivity, the higher the productivity is done, the more benefits are earned, which leads country to higher standards of living. The more goods and services are earned means the more labor are used. The more goods will be earned and the more exporting will be done, which could lead the country to have cooperation between countries and another. Growth rate of nations' productivity. Growth rate refers to the percentage change of a specific variable within a specific time period. So I will show you guys a graphic of data in Indonesia yearly earnings to show you guys the growth rate in Indonesia. The data I got from 2009 till 2020. As you can see, Indonesia in 2009 only earned $102, and then in the 2010 Indonesia earned $128, which means the growth rate has increased a total of $26,000 and keep going up until 2014 and 2015. Indonesia's yearly earning has decreased by $21,000 from 2013 to 2014, and another decrease from 2014 to 2015 of total of $4,000. But the data shows that Indonesia growth rate has increased against in 2016 until 2018, but the decrease again in 2019 to 2020, which means that productivity of Indonesia is sometimes up and sometimes down. There are a lot of reasons for it. In 2014, has a natural disaster in Aceh, which caused a lot of damage and loss, which decreased the productivity of Indonesia. And then at the beginning of 2020, Indonesia got affected by COVID-19 pandemic, which caused bigger expense than before in health field. And because of the pandemic, sometimes people have to stop working and their income has decreased, which really affect Indonesia a whole economic. That's why based on data, the yearly earning has decreased. Okay, so that's my explanation about Principle 8. Countries' standards of living depended on its ability to produce goods and services. Thank you for the opportunity. Goodbye. Thank you.